Tonight's the night, Dexter fans, because we're discussing my final thoughts and episode ranking and my season 2 predictions for Dexter Resurrection. Let's get straight into it, starting with my final thoughts. So this is an amazing first season. I mean, every episode seemed to get better than the last. There were brilliant vibes, and it feels like we really went back to seasons 1 to 4 in like that sense of the writing and the vibe, and yeah, you know what I mean. And it was just such an interesting premise for Dexter to go up against a serial killer club. It was good. I have no clue where they came up with that, but it was amazing. And the stakes were ridiculous because of this, because this was probably some of the most mental villains he's gone up against so far. So that really helped the stakes, and that made it more interesting and amazing to watch. And those new characters were written brilliantly. Old characters were written to be way more likable. And by that, I mean Harrison. I know a lot of people had problems with him in New Blood. I personally didn't, but, you know, this helped those people who had problems with him see him as more likable. I know that much because I've just seen everyone saying as such. And the actors helped as well. They were amazing. Top form, performances from everyone. And that ending it just gave me chills. It was an amazing finale. Moving on to my episode ranking. In number 10, I put episode 2, Camera Shy. Number 9, I have episode 5, Murder Horny. Number 8, I have episode 1, A Beating Heart. Number 7, I have episode 3, Backseat Driver. Number 6, I have episode 4, Call Me Red. Number 5, I have episode 6, Cats and Mouse. Number 4, I have episode 7, Course Correction. And our top 3, number 3, episode 8, The Kill Room Where It Happens. Episode 9, Touched by an Angel, which means number 1 slot is the finale, episode 10, and Justice for All. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? What's your ranking for the Dexter Resurrection episodes down below? Let me know. Finally, season 2 predictions. I'm predicting more comebacks from OG cast. Definitely Masuka and Quinn. Maybe Brian, because, he's come back already and fans really love him. So to see him come back again makes sense. I would want Astra and Cody to come back. I don't know how they would do it, but it would be cool to see. And I would like Rita, in a flashback somehow, or as a ghost like Harry. I've always said it would be interesting to see Rita as a, form of Dexter's Dark Passenger. We've had Deb, we've had Harry, we've had Brian. Rita is something we could do. And in the same sense, you could do the same for Hannah, flashback, or have her come back as a form of Dexter's Dark Passenger. I'd like to see Lumen come back, maybe. Same for Astra and Cody. Really no clue how they would do it, but, it could be something interesting. If not for season 2, then for future seasons. And then Deb as well, ghost or flashback, whatever they decide to do. I honestly don't think Rita or Deb are likely, because they just don't seem insistent on bringing Rita back, even though the actor, Julie Benz, has said she would love to. And as for Deb, she's just made it clear she's kind of done with the franchise now. But I'd also predict return of Resurrection characters, obviously. I predict Quinn hunting down Dexter, even though he spent so much time staying out of Dexter's business, because he actually, had survival instinct when he basically knew Dexter was the Bayhard Butcher. I think we can all agree on that by this point. But when he finds out Batista's dead, I have a feeling he's going to put the pieces together and quit ignoring what Dexter is doing, even if he did already know, because that maybe crosses a line for him. I guess we'll have to see. And on that vein, I'd like to see more Miami and more Miami Metro scenes. And in that vein as well, more blood spatter analysis from Dexter. That one scene where he, brags to Wallace was amazing. I loved it. I think we all did. I'd love more amazing twists like we saw this season with the Gemini Killer, with Harrison being given M99 to seduce bloody Prater. Just stuff like that. I'm predicting we'll meet the New York Ripper and that Dexter's going to catch him next season, because we had that reveal in episode 10 of Don Framped. I'm predicting more deaths, more book references, and I think the original Sin actors might return for flashbacks or something, since original Sin was cancelled. Granted, that's only if it doesn't come back, since everyone's already rallying for season 2's reinstation, and I think you should too. It is an amazing show. And on that thing, I think we will see more flashbacks to the old shows, just to have that synergy again that we saw this season that you guys know I like so much. I think we'll have Dexter catch Al next season, a development of the Resurrection characters like Wallace and her partner. I think we'll have Dexter go after some killers he got from Prater, maybe closer to the New York area, and then Future in the show further away, because he has them all over the place. I just think that's kind of where they're going with this show for Resurrection. That's like the overarching story. Dexter on the run, all over the US, taking down killers. That would go crazy. I would love that. And finally, I predict that Dexter will not go back on being okay with the Bayhard Butcher and, being him, because they've done similar endings where he's been like, okay with what he is, and then they've always sort of gone back and forth on it and like made it a bit wishy-washy. I predict by this point they're probably just going to leave it as it is. But that's my season 2 predictions. What do you predict? Let me know all your thoughts down below about Resurrection now it's over, all your episode rankings and predictions. I would love to hear it all. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you later. Goodbye.